Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261, the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the northeast spawn of Outpost, one of the new maps, and it's under the command of Twerp001 of the KIWI clan. Now, he's been having a bit of trouble trying to get his videos uploaded, or replays uploaded rather, onto Salty Jedi's site. We don't know why, but we'll presume that he will eventually get over the problem. At least I hope he does, because he sent me in a rather interesting video which I thought you might enjoy. Okay, the Object 261, 18cm howitzer, and built on the IS-7 chassis. It's capable of doing 800 alpha and penetrating 45mm of armor, and it's got a reload time by the book of 30.68 seconds. He's got 27.35. Now he's doing what most players do, is to have a quick look down those two corridors in the centre of town. Rounds out. Oh, direct hit on the EBR. Now you won't be happy, that guy, because that's a... Oh, and the Arty's trying to respond straight away. So they were looking for where we fired the shot from. But the EBR won't be happy because he's lost 390 hit points from the first shot. Okay, there's a lot of action going on in the north. And we've got some tanks out in the south area, but no confrontations yet. Okay, he's loaded, ready to go, but I think he's just trying to pick the right target. Now, a Leopard 1, that makes a fairly good target, but so does a Cranvon. And he's almost fully dialed in. Rounds out, looks good. It lands short. Or did it land short? Actually, I'm wondering there if that was our shot, because there's two Arty on either side, and I think we actually just saw our fellow Arty in the GWE100 fire at the same target, and it does look as if Twerp's shot went long and the other guy went short. Of course, he's got a 21cm shell, whereas Twerp's got an 18cm, obviously. Slightly smaller, faster reload, less damage. But actually, the Object 261 is quite a popular Tier 10 Arty. I've had a lot of replays for the Object 261 in the past couple of weeks, and it seems that a lot of people are having fun in it, and that may be down to the fact because it's Tier 10 and of course it's very fast firing, means you can get a lot of damage in fairly quickly. Okay, he's got a super conch over here by the building, but he's decided not to shoot at that one. Instead, he's having a look at the IS-4 and the 60 TP. I don't think... Oh, he does get the 60 TP. Yep, and he gets a hit as well. 211, pulls back just to avoid the counter battery, just in case. No rumble from any Arty firing at the other end of the map. That was the GWE firing instead. Now, it's very important to keep the enemy tanks in the centre of town suppressed, because if they poke out through the holes, they can do a huge amount of damage to our guys who are a little further up in the north. We do have a super conch nearby. He's keeping an eye on them. Now, it seems that Twerp is one of those people who favour going in, out. Well, if it gets too bad, I will try to take control of the camera to avoid it, because obviously we don't want to get seasickness. Rounds out, looks good. Yes, it is. It's a near miss. Yeah, you see he does that in-out thing just after he fires, rather than some people do it all the time. Or maybe he is actually doing it all the time. We'll have to cure him of that habit if we can. It just can get very, very off-putting if you get somebody who does that. Oh, even Jingles has commented on players who do that. They have to take control of the camera. And if they can't take control of the camera, they don't do the replay, because it's just no point. Well, that one landed short, so that's not so good. You only get 20 rounds of ammo in this Arty. There should be more, to be honest, but only 20, which means obviously he's used up 7 already. And it is possible to run out of ammo in grand battles. So you have to be careful that you don't blow your ammo too quickly. Okay, 430. Loaded. Rounds out. Oh! What happened there? Nowhere near the target, and yes, he is going in and out, so I will take control of the camera. Okay, after a while you have to do that because you can't have somebody upsetting the viewers by mucking around with their or fiddling with their mouse button. Okay, now he's decided he's going to look elsewhere. He found an E100. In fact, behind that is the Superconk he was firing at earlier. Rounds out. No, unfortunately, he fired just a fraction of a second too late, I think. He was wondering if the guy was going to move forward, and he didn't. He actually stayed there for a split second, then he moved, and unfortunately, Twerp was just a fraction of a second too late. Okay, I think he's seen that there's some action going on in the south, rather. It's a Jagdpanzer E100 Jaegeru right down to the south of the map. And I noticed another thing that Twerp's doing is he's using the mouse to scroll across the screen. And obviously the problem with that is that it takes ages to relocate to your new target. The best way to do it is hold down your left control key, move the cursor over the minimap, and then right click on the minimap where the target is, what you want to see, and it goes there straight away, so you don't have to keep scrolling. It's far faster than using the mouse to work your way across the map. Okay. He's doing it again, you see. He's got a couple of targets. Rounds out. Now, I think his was the second shell there, because I'm pretty sure the shell that actually did the stun on that 60 TP was actually the GWE100. But he's got one that he can kill with one shot if he can strike that TVP. He's thinking about the Superconk. It's dropping a shell in there. It's very difficult. And that object 277 coming up behind the enemy. There he is. And there's the TVP. The 277's gone. He fires at the TVP and just pulls back in time. So only one up on the enemy at the moment. He hasn't got a whole lot of damage. He's under 1,000 hit points of actual damage and 800 of stun assist. Okay, now, Object 430, he's still got half his hit points. Oh, yes, again, this time round he fired too soon. And there was a fold in the ground there, and the shell hit the ridgeline instead of hitting the 430U. But he's staying with the target. The 430U likely doesn't know that he's actually got an Arty firing at him, because he probably saw the shell explode. But he might have thought it was actually coming from the tanks up ahead rather than the Arty. But we're going to give it a go. Rounds out. This looks better. Oh! And RNG punishes him again, and the shell goes long. All he gets is some stun, but we did get some stun assist out of it, so that's benefit. Oh! And there goes the 430U, who's actually hit in the back by an EBR 105, who was right up in the centre of town. So now we're looking into the rear area where we're hoping we're going to see the tracer from the enemy Arty. There's two of them, Conqueror gun carriage and a DWE100. They've also got a Leopard 1, a Gorilla 15 and a Jaegeru. Now the Leopard 1 was last seen in town, the Jaegeru down to the south, and oh, it appears the Leopard 1 moved there as well. So we've got the Jaegeru. Rounds out. He's slow moving. He takes a hit in the side, but it's only 164. Because the Jaegeru has those shields, the skirts over the tracks, which prevent a lot of damage. The Gorilla 15 would be a primary target. He's got the thinnest armor of all out of those three, but the Leopard is the secondary target because, of course, he actually does have very light armor. Oh, Conqueror gun carriage. Now, he had a bit of reticule bloom, but this should be a good shot. And he does get the kill. That's nicely done. So he's got his first kill of the game. As I say, I'd go for one of the other tanks rather than the Jaeger. The Jaeger, yes, you can keep him stunned. But the ones that ideally you'd hit would be the Gorilla and the Leopard, because they will yield the most hit points if they get struck. Oh! Well, 354. I'm not sure if that was a pen. I don't think it was, because of course it's less than half of his alpha. And the Gorilla is taking damage. He got rid of his stun fairly quickly. Our EBR got whacked by a 15cm shell, so he's out the game. But we're still up by 3. Trying to get a shot on that Gorilla again. Go for it. Rounds out. This looks good. Oh! And again he gets ambushed by RNG and the shell goes long. And all he gets is a bit of splash. 197. That's the GWE firing in. At least he's keeping that Gorilla stunned. And that's helping. We're still up by 3. It looks like he's going to try... Oh, he's decided to go after the Leopard. He lost sight of the Jaeger. Oh, but the Jaeger has come back into sight because he's going down here and he's going faster. And it lands behind him, but still splashes him for 210. But the bad news is we lost the Object 268 for the Bobject. So the enemy team is now down to just the Leopard and the Gorilla 15 because they've lost their other Arty. But these two are troubled because they're both very quick. And of course the Gorilla's got that really big gun and he just whacked the Progetto. A big hit. The Gorilla's gone down. Oh, we hit the wreck on the Gorilla as well. But look at that. The Leopard has just wiped out our Progetto 65. And now that puts us in trouble, because we've only got 2 other tanks in the game, the E100 and the Superconch. So we're going to try and move across the battlefield. Normally, as you know, I recommend that you use that P in SPG to get across the battlefield and start capping to force the enemy into a situation where they can't do anything but sit there and watch the game unfold into a win for us, put the pressure on them. The GWE 100's kind of slow. He's not very quick. He's not going to get across the battlefield quickly, but the Object 261 can go 50 kilometers an hour, so he can get across the battlefield fairly quickly. So slightly, if I remember correctly, it's slightly slower than the IS-7. Top speed of the GWE 100 is only 40 kilometers an hour. Now his power to weight ratio is 10.94 horsepower per ton. The IS-7's got 18.78 horsepower per ton, so it's almost twice as much horsepower. Almost, not quite. Okay, so we're capping, and he's decided to go to the bush. Now the bad news about going to the bush usually is the fact that obviously it makes it very obvious where you're located, either in the bush over there or this one, or sitting behind the cap. The E100 is in nearby the cap. The Leopard's gone up the far end, and the GW E100 has decided to go through the town. The Superconch is on the south side. Now I'm wondering if the Leopard has actually tried to locate our Arty. He must see that there's 2 in the cap now, surely. But we're fairly well hidden. I think that is he's positioned himself in such a way that it's very difficult for the enemy to spot him. His reference points are all concealed, and there's the enemy. Now we did move, but I think we've got this. Well, he did get a reset. He hit one of us. I think he hit the E1. Yeah, he hit the E100, but I don't think he saw us. The sixth sense never went off. Now surely he must realise that. Then what he's got to do is he's got to attack the bush. Now we're side onto him with 20 seconds left to go. Our E100's waiting for him to come out into sight, and then he can take him on. 8 seconds. The leopard's in sight. Surely he must realise. And that's it. He's capped out in full sight of the enemy. And the game is over. Victory dance. You don't see these all that often, but when they do come, they are very, very welcome indeed. This game was the first class tanker for Twerp001 of the KIWI clan, but he got 2 very rare medals, or at least rare medals. I've had quite a few, and so have some of the What Arty Noobs members. In fact, I think most What Arty Noobs members have got them, but to actually win that battle in sight of the enemy and to get the Raider-Invader combination, takes some doing. He managed to get the Raider medal because he remained unspotted from the enemy throughout the entire game. He never saw him. He was in the bush, wasn't he? He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10. He got the Invader medal by capping out and getting at least 80 capture points. Of course, the E100 got reset, but we had most of the cap points at that point. And the Leopard didn't think to fire into the other bush where he would have actually got a reset and a Defender medal. And also a Confederate medal for Twerp because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that game, 2,079, which is very, very good indeed. It was almost Unicum, getting close to it. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the Leopard did actually get a Tank Sniper medal, but he didn't get a Defender. He hit the wrong bush, basically. Yeah, always go for the bush in everything. Anyway, I'm sorry, that is just terrible. I'll have to excuse myself now. The highest damage in that game went to the 60 TP on the enemy team. 5,375 hit points from that battle, but no high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. The second highest damage in the game went to that Leopard. He got 5,245 hit points, but that E100 was deterring him from resetting the cap. He must have realised, surely. And then the third highest damage in the game went to the E100 on our team with 4,835 hit points, with Twerp001 getting 2,215, which puts him fairly way down the table. But what a great performance. 4 members of the enemy team were above him, and 5 members of his own team, which puts him in 10th place on damage. Would you believe that? When it came to kills, the top scorer was the Super Conqueror on our team with 5 kills. 2 kills went to the E100 on our team, the EBR 105, and then to the 60 TP, the Leopard 1, the Object 277 and the Gorilla 15 on the enemy team. Everyone else got I've just 1 kill or nothing, and Twerp just got 1. But when it came to base XP, yep, he's top 3 because the top scorer was the E100, still alive at the end of the game. And actually, that was the guy who was decoying the Leopard, because of course he had to fire at the E100, didn't he? But of course he didn't fire at the very harmless looking bush, which actually contained an Arty. 1,143 went to the E100, 979 went to the Super Conk, and Twerp managed to get 915. The only player to get over 1,000 in the game was the E100, but boy was he a good decoy. When it came to detail, let's have a look. 20 shots fired. He fired all of his ammunition during that game. I didn't pick that up actually at the time, but he didn't have any ammo left at the end of the game. If he had actually fired and killed that Leopard when he reached 100 cap points, then he might have actually got a Faden's medal as well if he'd have 1 left, but he didn't have a shell left, so unfortunately didn't get a Faden's. But very, very well done. The fact that he was out of ammo, but he still managed to get a win. 4 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 17 splash. Damage of 2,215 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 1, so there's a 9 difference there. So he spread the Arty love all around to make sure they were all felt welcome, that yes, we were recognizing they were there, and we were trying to give them a little Arty love. 172 hit points of damage assistance and 2,218 hit points of stun assist of 16 stuns. And there you have it, the 100 capture points to get the Invader medal. 53,015 credits from the actual battle after ammunition resupply took away 13,415 credits profit. He got 7 bonds because it was tier 10, 1,372 XP from the battle and no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But he said raiding party, yes, getting that back device, the Raider Invader. I know Jingles said it once that it's very, very rare, but if you're an Arty player, and a lot of the What Arty Noobs players are top Arty players, they probably have quite a few of these already. But it's satisfying every time you get it because it means the enemy never saw you. They never had sight of you from the entire battle, and you still managed to beat them and win by capping out against them. And to do that in front of the enemy, you know, to actually have the enemy in sight when you then get a Raider Invader, well, that's just special, isn't it? So congratulations to Twerp001. That was a really good battle. Very enjoyable to actually do that. I have never seen somebody cap out actually in sight of the enemy before and still get the Raider Invader. Normally you get spotted, or normally the enemy will shoot at the bush and they get a reset, even though they never saw you. But to do that and win the game, yeah, that takes some doing. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.